Um, Last but not least, certainly not least, I'd like to introduce David Schultz. David Schultz is the Vice President for Policy and Strategy for Dallas Area Rapid Transit, or DART, and heads the agency's Office of Policy and Strategy. In this role, he leads DART's strategic planning initiatives, develops and reviews agency policies, provides analysis of critical issues, and oversees and manages projects that have agency-wide impacts. During his 26-year career as a lawyer in public service, David has actively participated in many landmark projects, including the reconstruction of the Central Expressway in Dallas, DART's light rail system, Dallas City Council's 2000 redistricting, the Dallas ordinance that prohibits discrimination based on sexual orientation, and planning for expanded public transportation services across the North Texas region. He has worked extensively with governing boards on policy development and management, and has served as a senior advisor on ethics and conflicts of interest issues. David holds a BBA from UT Austin and a law degree from Baylor. He is a member of the Leadership Dallas class of 2005 and has served on the governing boards of a number of local charities. Let's welcome David.
Thank you, Doug, and it's a delight for me to be here today to tell you a little bit about the exciting things that are going on at DART. I wasn't sure exactly what the content of my speech would be today, because just yesterday our board of directors met in the culmination of many months of conversations about our 20-year financial plan. DART is a little bit unusual in the public transit agencies around the country in that our 20-year financial plan is a fully burdened budget, if you will, that lays out all of our projected costs and expenses over that time. And we have a very accurate view because of that of our capacity to do projects. And the two projects that I'm going to talk to you about today created something of a firestorm when we started talking about doing them together. And we can get into that a little bit, but I'm pleased to let you know that if you didn't read the Dallas Morning News today, you'll know that both of these projects were funded and are going forward. That doesn't mean the politics are over, but at least staff has some direction on exactly what we'll be working on in the next few months. Just a word or two about DART. We are a regional transportation authority. We have a service area of 700 square miles in the North Texas area. We've got about a 2.3 million population within our service area that we serve. The greater metropolitan area is over 7 million people. Our agency has this next year will have a $975 million annual budget, which is split between operations, capital, and debt service. And we do have the distinction of having the longest light rail system in North America with 93 miles of track, 3 of which opened last Friday, and 64 stations. So the first project that I want to talk to you about is the Cotton Belt Regional Rail Corridor. This is not a project that's foreign to the Leadership Forum. It's been presented here a number of times in various forms, but I'm proud to tell you today that our agency is moving forward with funding and construction of the line. Just a layout, downtown Dallas is off the map, which is probably part of the reason that maybe it's a little bit politically controversial. This is an east-west corridor of 26 miles in length and a projected 11 stations that'll serve the northeast part of our service area, Plano, all the way through the northern tier and make a second rail connection into DFW Airport. Our orange line that you can see coming up with the little hook there currently serves the airport. And the dotted line that you see coming in from the left is the TexRail project. That's a project that's being sponsored by the Fort Worth Transportation Authority, and they're planning service into DFW Airport. I think their latest projection was 2018 or 2019, something in that time frame. So this is the project that that our board voted to move forward on. We do need that north crosstown connection, additional service into DFW Airport, and most importantly, that connection to the Fort Worth project, so we can have a single seat ride completely across the northern part of the Metroplex into downtown Fort Worth. We are looking at service in 2022, and the project budget is about $1.13 billion. We will finance the project through a combination of local funds, local debt, and other income streams. We are looking at an RRIF loan, which is a railroad infrastructure. I had to write that down because I always just use the initials. Railroad Rehabilitation Improvement Financing. It's an FRA loan program that's available for rehabilitation, development, improvement of railroad facilities. And since this is an existing rail corridor, freight rail corridor, we're eligible for that. Freight service was taken off of the corridor some years ago after DART purchased it at the request of the communities that it ran through. So as being a good neighbor, we eliminated freight service on that corridor, but we have kept it as an active corridor. There are, of course, opportunities for the private sector in all of DART's projects, and we welcome. That's one of the reasons that I'm here talking to you today, is to solicit your ideas and assistance on different ways that the private sector can participate, and whether that's through something as like naming rights or station development or other involvements. We certainly welcome your thoughts and input on that. The connectivity of this project is really, really important. The northern tier of cities are the fastest growing part of our metroplex. And so this corridor will go into one of the fastest growing areas in the nation. You might have heard the cities of Allen and Frisco and McKinney are always cited in the top fastest growing parts of the country. So this connectivity is really critical for them. There's also an issue locally of regional equity. Since our transit system is developed as kind of a spider web system, a spoke system, this connectivity across the top provides rail services to some of our suburbs that have been part of our service area for a very long time and are looking to benefit from the growth of infrastructure that we've created in our existence. The things that we're going to be looking for from the community that's at this conference are, of course, those engineering and design services that are necessary, construction, and then, of course, opportunities for maintenance and operations specifically. And again, we certainly are open to any opportunities for P3 and different ways of approaching all are part of this project. The second project that I want to talk to you about that was approved by our board to move forward yesterday was what we're calling the D2 project. This is a light rail core capacity project, and it's part of a program of projects that DART has put forward to the FTA to improve core capacity in our system. Right now what you see in this map is downtown Dallas. And as you can make out the yellow line here, this is our existing rail corridor. And we have only one set of tracks that currently runs through downtown Dallas, and all four of our rail lines traverse that one set of tracks. And so you can just easily see the operational and safety issues that creates and provides for us. All of these other lines that you see here on the map are lines that we have studied as we've looked at how to provide a second alignment through downtown, and so those are the lines that are going forward. Up until about 2 weeks ago, we had planned to do part of this alignment in a tunnel. This section here from Victory Station on down to our city center station would have been in a tunnel. We would have surfaced about here over close to Young Street, something like this, and then we would have run at the surface through the rest of the downtown area. We were doing this primarily for cost reasons, but operationally it worked also because the streets on this side of downtown are wider, and down in here is where we get to the canyon areas between all of the taller buildings. The city of Dallas has the community has voiced a preference, though, for the whole alignment to be in a subway. And because of that, we are, and with our board vote last night, we are moving forward to study the subway option further and move forward in that way. So again, we're trying to increase our capacity and to have that in revenue service by 2023. That date is very important for us for a reason that I'll show you in just a moment. The cost on this section with the subway is projected to be about $1.3 billion. And I point out that we'll be doing both of those projects simultaneously. The core capacity project through downtown is going to be funded by public funds and a federal grant. This is one of the things that puts us a little bit a little bit at risk. I don't want to overstate the risk, but our original program and going forward with the FTA would have had about $325 million in FTA assistance. This new alignment will require an ask of about $650 million. But we have an excellent relationship with the FTA. They've been very involved in all of our community conversations, and we're comfortable in being able to go forward and continue our positive interactions with them on this. One of the important drivers, and let me skip to this, is that the high-speed rail project that everybody's familiar with in Texas from Dallas to Houston is projected to open in the 2022 time frame, pretty much. So it's really critical for us to get this alignment done at the same time so that we can improve our connectivity to the services that the high-speed rail is going to provide in downtown to downtown Dallas. Of course, design, engineering, construction. We've got a bunch of other stuff in the pipeline. We're currently in final engineering on lengthening 28 platforms. When we originally built our system, we had a different size vehicle, and so we've got some platforms that we need to lengthen. We're doing that at the same time. Central Dallas Streetcar Link. We're loving all the streetcar conversations around the country. Our commuter rail service between downtown Dallas and downtown Fort Worth is up for some improvements. And I've got a whole long list of other things, but in the interest of time, I'll be glad to talk to y'all individually about other opportunities that we've got. I've got my information and the agency information. DART.org, at the bottom of the page, you'll see a link to procurement. Click on that and be sure to register as a vendor so that we can communicate with you, and we've got big projects going on. Thank you very much.